So apparently Velma season 2 is released and it's horrific. If you remember last year, or was it 2 years ago? I think it was 2 years ago. A show that is focused on Velma from Scooby-Doo came out with all of these racial changes and this and that, kind of like putting down the original format and sort of pushing a specific narrative that is not really the most ideal thing for the fan base, and people ended up hate watching that show quite a bit. Apparently that show is getting a rerun, and we're going to take a look at and see what all of Twitter has to say about this. As always, if you enjoyed this video itself, make sure you like the video, and if you want to see more React, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Let's get into it.
Tuning in. Yesterday I mentioned that Stellar Blade was officially released. That was my mistake. Actually, it's not officially released until the 26th. I had mixed that date up with the review embargo date. So yeah, my apologies for that. Now onto the main topic. 1 year ago, Mindy Kaling's Velma released, and it got terrible.
Look at that rating. That is awful. Man, you had reviewers even giving it 39%. Like, those reviewers need to be checked out. And then you have 10,000 plus people reviewing it low, and it got a second season. I don't even understand how you end up in this situation. I guess the fact that the hate watchers were checking out the first episode made it more like interesting enough for Max to just, like, HBO, I think it is. Yeah, for HBO Max to continue on with a second season. I can't believe this happened.
Reviews, which was completely understandable. Reviews such as, the worst thing I've ever seen. I don't understand how they can broadcast this on television. Why was this even made? 0 stars. I thought it was the worst show I ever watched. I wish I could give it less than half a star. How did this get a season 2?
Man, look at this.
Seriously wrong with the US.
And you could look at these reviews, by the way, and you can think to yourself, these are just hate watchers. But no, like, a lot of people actually looked at this and thought the show was just really bad. It was just really, really bad. I've seen some clips of the show, and I don't understand how this is from Hollywood. Like, how did people agree to this? How did they even allow this to go through?
Half a star. How did this get a season 2? There's something seriously wrong with the US. Speaking of season 2, here's the official trailer for Velma season 2, posted only 10 days ago, getting apparently 2,000 likes versus 16,000 dislikes.
It was painful. I bet.
Talk about how they butchered the Hex Girls.
How did you turn the Hex Girl into that? Why did you make her ugly? Why? Bro, do you know how many people turned gay because of the Hex Girls? Why do you do this shit?
I mean, look at Thorn here. What a complete disaster.
Oh,
Yet
my
another example
God.
of American media ruining a beloved female character. Even Bakugo getting in on this, saying, I just want to talk to the executives. How dare you massacre my favorite Hex Girl? This show really ruins everything it touches, doesn't it? Another comment saying, all things you loved as a child must become ugly, and if you don't say thank you for it, you're a bigot. Response.
I think it's really sad that they have to... Hollywood and writers are so out of ideas that they need to take other people's work and change it into their old worldview instead of just making something original for themselves. Because the problem is that if they try to make something original, it will just suck. But also, whenever it does, they rather like take something that is already made and established and do their own twist on it, because it will do them better, because else they can't really publish anything that will be somewhat interesting, even though what they release is kind of like just trash. It just sucks for the audiences that grew up with it. I think that there are some people out there that can look at these things and think to themselves, it doesn't matter. This doesn't change anything. Like, I only look at what currently was like behind back then. That is the only thing that matters. Whatever they release now doesn't matter. I can see that a lot of people have had that view about Lord of the Rings, for example. But I personally think whenever I see these things, whenever I see people rerun old shows and massacre them this way, I think it's just like such disrespect to both their audiences and the original artist and like creators of the show. Like, I just think it's a sad thing. It's such a shame that we keep seeing these things because it keeps on happening. Hollywood is now like rerunning every single show they have a license of, and they're just making it worse.
Redesigning a character is one thing, but this is making a character uglier out of spite. There's no way they designed Thorn here thinking she looked good. Yeah, it's extremely bizarre how corpos keep doing this sort of thing. And now even the goth girls aren't safe from them. I hope you enjoyed my coverage of the continuing train wreck that's Velma, and if you did, please consider liking and or subscribing. Appreciate your support, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.
Well, there
Thank you
wasn't
for
really
tuning-
that much coverage here, but regardless, I think it's like it is like you see that how the audience reflect on these changes, and they're clearly not liking it. I just don't even understand how HBO. I guess that because they had people looking at the first episode, they thought to themselves, "Oh my god, it's so popular," but do they not have eyes? Like, do they not see what's going on? Do they not like look at things? Isn't that their job to review what is doing well and what is disliked and liked and what audiences want to see? Because like I feel like they're going against what they should be. And I'm wondering how much does this hurt HBO, or do they earn money on this? Like that's what I want to know. Like I would love to know if creating hate watchable content is profitable, because it seems like to me with this Velma case that is the situation. And if that is the case, I think we will see more of this. And that's a shame. Like I would hope the best thing anybody could do if they hate this stuff is to just not watch it. I'll cancel sub and just move on and do something else. Go pirate or something. I don't know. Like do something completely different. Because like I feel like there's a lot of people that just doesn't stick to what they value themselves, and they just, I don't know, they just keep giving money even though they dislike these changes, dislike these shows. It doesn't really impact how they like handle their own purchases or money or what they view. So you can see with this Velma show, like this was an atrocious like shit show, but yet still it doesn't matter. People hate watch and they earn their money from it. Can I be honest? Who cares? We got so many good animes and shows from all over the world. Ignore it and enjoy old OG. Oh yeah, we have a lot of good stuff. I think that there's no reason to watch like HBO anymore or anything like that, because there's so many good shows everywhere else. Focusing on this is probably not the best. It's just a sad thing. Like again, I look at this more as a disrespect toward the original artist, and it's a sad format that creating hate watch content can possibly be a norm because there might be profit behind it. And in the end of the day, I think there's a lot of good stuff to watch now, so you wouldn't really need to watch anything like this or support this like HBO at all for this. Like you could just move on. There's so many good things to go. Like I'm watching Yellowstone at the moment. I know that a little bit old, but yeah, there's so many things to watch. I want to know if HBO will ever like speak up about this, because they seem to be just completely ignore it. Hope the people that make these shit already get the bag anyway, so hope the HBO abandon it. Yeah, they do get the bag. It's a kind of a shame. They have vandalized a franchise, get the money and just dip. Like, calm down. Come on.